All right, good evening, everyone. I will not lie, I've been looking forward to this stream myself for the last 2 days. Partly because I wanted to stream, and partly because I decided that I haven't had a Corona in forever, and so I bought one and I thought I'll have it in the evening, I'll have it in the evening. So thank you so much for joining, and for anyone else who's in a position to have something on the side, cheers. And let's enjoy some good chess. Um, I actually took the chat out. I wonder if I should put it back in. Give me 1 second. Maybe I'll add it back in. If I can remember how. Chat flow, here we go. I still have it. Oh, but now I have to add it back in with the... man. Okay, hang on. You guys are going to give me 2 seconds while I figure this out. Let's go to the studio view. Hey, Val. I just have to fix this quickly. I very much would like to have this whole thing back in here. So take that off. Okay, that's not quite the right thing, but I feel like we can work with it. Okay, so what's happening right now is a person who I'm super excited to watch play is almost finished with their game, and that is Gary 0892. So there are two other games going, but I'm actually just going to go into their game for a little bit first. I almost feel like I owe it to them at this point. So actually, let me just quickly just Gary's game, and let me just get all the little design problems fixed here quickly. So there we go. That that should do it. Something like that. That should be fine. Alright, and then probably I can become a bit bigger again. I've obviously been messing around with this recently. Cool, that should be visible, right? Board's visible, moves visible, time, my face, all, all of the important things and me, all in there. So, Gary is one of my, I would like to say, good online friends. And they were, um, basically, they've been playing their game for the last while. So they're white. We can see that they are currently down a pawn, but up a rook. So this is looking very good. But their opponent is still on 46 minutes. Worth waiting for. I'm not really big into beer anymore, but the expectation has built it. Alright, let's just go back a little bit and see how exactly we got to the position we've got over here. Alright, it was an e4 game, e5. Okay, I believe I heard something about a potential Scotch. 4-knight Scotch Gambit. Alright, okay. Yeah, okay. So I think this is basically what Gary was looking at. And I wonder if his teammates approve of this situation or not. I'm just going to type streaming again, Gary. Check it after. Okay, there we go. Hey Milan, how you doing, man? I hope you're having a good day that side. It's Saturday, right? So you're not sneaking anything at work today, thankfully. I'm thankfully catching the back end of Gary's game, so I'm just quickly running through to see what happened here. A little Scotch Gambit action. Bishop e4, still pretty theory. Take the knight. Take there. Bishop out. Actually, I actually think that two games that started at the same time were running the same opening. So Gary's game and this game, Octical versus Blue Wasserman, I think were both Scotch Gambits. Yeah, see, this one was also Scotch Gambit. Up to here, same, and I think, yeah, so I already looked quickly. They went d5, which I think is main theory, and Gary's opponent did something slightly different. Let's see. Okay, doing better now? Oh, cool, man, thanks. I'm really happy to be here. I actually don't know if you guys have a bit of time. I'm hoping to be up for about 2 hours. Maybe someone can come say hi at some point. Bring a beverage of your choice. I've crushed so much um, lemon into my beer already, but you can have whatever you want. I think Tome was around as well. But anyway, let me just get into Gary's game quickly. They're basically finished, right? I want to see how they got here. So I think Black has a choice between either take. Things can happen. This is still very standard, exact same that happened in this game next door, right? So very cool. Two games starting at the same time. And actually, I don't know if anyone's been in an OTB tournament where you realize like the board next to you or someone else in the hall is actually playing the same moves as you. And if that's the case, when you realize like when you realize that, do you feel like you're not allowed to look at that board anymore because it's kind of like cheating? Which feels similar to what didn't Carlson recently someone wrote that like in the 960 he like got up and looked at other people's games for a while before he started playing his. So I guess that means that if someone else is playing your opening, you're allowed to. But there might be some questions. I think there was something like a while back, maybe 2 years back now. Hikaru and someone else was basically next to each other playing similar openings. Like who's looking at whose game? All right. Anyway, so but they were castled. Take the knight. Yeah, I think this is all still moves. Although I don't believe. I think d5 is the main move. Well, anyway, take the knight. Makes sense. Double up white spawns. Alright, Scotch Gambit. Everyone's got a broken pawn structure. What to do? And d6. Okay, this is a lot more humble. And just straight out. Fair enough. Okay. I did quickly look at this position earlier when I was walking past the computer. And I was wondering myself about h3 actually. Just to try and... I really liked doing prophylaxis against my previous opponent at the last round. So I was considering like which one would you want to do if you're white. Okay, fair. Interesting, stepping up, trying to get close enough maybe to come past so that you don't sit behind it. Well, I mean, you could have just tried to kick it at least once and also get some lift for your king. Alright, defending that. Coming out, hitting this pawn. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of what black's doing here. I think h6 and figuring out your light square bishop before your queen might have been good too. I don't think you had any problems of it being dropped just yet, right? Your knight wasn't double attacked or something. Okay, anyway, so there, and okay, knight jumps out. This is pretty nice. Maybe black actually wants to put it on e5. Did I actually watch 2 seconds of this game? I feel like I've seen this position as well. I was wondering about f4, if that might be worth playing. Okay, anyway, great. Open diagonal. I really want black to move the light square bishop at some point. Alright, knight first, light square bishop opens up, hits the queen. Okay. I mean, this would be good for white, right? You just fix their pawn structure, and then things are a lot better. Well, there's a famous occurrence in a tournament where 2 GMs follow the same knight for a long time. Yeah. I think there was something like that a while back, right? I remember, I mean, 2-3 years ago or 4 years ago now at this point when I got into chess really, I read a lot of the online articles, and I remember something like that, yeah. Oh, no. It's all good, Val. Thanks for saying. I appreciate both the interaction, the fact that you're here, the fact that your icon is green today, which is awesome. I don't know why it was a different color last time. And that I'm not crazy that you actually remember something similar, yeah. Alright, e5. Okay, hello. Oh, okay. Push, if you take, then you only got this left against this. I guess does open up this light square bishop as well. Oh, I actually, yeah, because there's some pressure down this way as well. So, oh, and the game's done. Hang on, Gary, hang on. We're still checking out the game. Okay, and Gary won. Congratulations, Gary. But hang on 1 second. I'm checking out your game. This is a nice move. I wonder if they should have just taken. To be honest, it's not, like it's an equal pawn structure. If they do. Maybe this was a bit of a misstep. Yeah, now you've got this situation, right? Take. I can take again. Oh, very sneaky. And if you take the bishop, it's bye-bye queen. Classic light square bishop taking the h7 pawn. Okay, taking that danger out of the way first. I'll take a rook instead. And if you take a rook... if you take my rook, I take your queen. Same problem again with a different piece on d3. I don't even know if Gary planned that. That's just so awesome. Maybe that's a bit of luck as well, but that's super, super nice. I like that very much. Hey, Fabian, how you doing, man? Grab a beverage. It's time to chill out and watch some games. As I remind myself, I put so much lemon in this. It's so good. Mm, very, very nice. Okay. Okay. I guess you're trying to get a queen trade maybe, and then you just have this. I guess so. And taking this way would have been good too. This also, I guess, puts some pressure on your 8th pawn. Fair enough. Okay. And what? Black says, no worries. Can't I just take here anyway, though? Because if I get in here, that's mate, because your king's stuck. What happens if I take here? Seems very dangerous. It's not, I mean, yeah, it's like a mating attack. It's not even just a pawn situation. Okay, but white said, hello, you want to trade some pawns and fix my pawns for me? Black said, sure. Okay, Black said, okay, I'll do that, but you take me. I want to develop my light square bishop. Yeah, which should have been developed a long time ago. Not developing this, the bishop, at the start of the game was probably not great, unfortunately. Okay. Alright, so it does take... I believe someone mentioned in chat that there was obviously this situation as well, where you could have done a little pawn grab as well. I don't know if white has to do that. I don't know. This pawn isn't super beneficial. Like all of the c pawns just kind of sitting around. But yeah, hey Meeks. Meeks, we made a mistake in the thumbnail. We got the wrong. This is the thumbnail says season 34, which is 10. That's like 2 years ago or something, right? It's a long time back. Anyway, we can maybe fix that another time. Besides that, I'm just so happy looking at the pictures all the time. I'm just quickly checking out what happened in Gary's game before we continue. The real patch of games I'm here to see actually start in about 12 minutes, so we've got a little bit of time just to kind of catch up because their game finished a bit faster than I anticipated. Alright, so now everyone's got bad points on the C file and the A file, but now Black's also got bad points on the F file, and they're down in exchange, so not the best situation. Okay, getting that pawn out of danger, attacking another pawn. I guess so. I mean, black's kind of like reaching for threats now, and maybe you would have wanted to rather put your rook on an open file, and here you could even oppose, if they came here, you could, if you wanted to, even just trade off, and then it's bishop versus rook, which is still terrible, because you have so many weak pawns, but maybe there's a way you could, I don't know, attach the bishop here, put this on a white square as well, and be able to like zigzag around. Bishop takes care of your pawns on this side, or I don't know, maybe it's probably just losing. Yeah, okay, yeah, just coming in. So white says, I don't care about my doubled c pawns, I'm getting my rooks active. Probably wants to double up on the 7th rank, probably just need to get some lift for the king as well. Does double up. And oh, okay, yeah, nice little trick. You take the bishop, I take your rook, you take the pawn, you lose the rook. Okay, opposes the other rook as well. Okay, yeah, so trading rooks obviously for white is just great. Losing that second c pawn mattered almost nothing, right? It looks even cleaner now because they don't have a double pawn on that side. You also realized it? I don't know. Hey Gary, we're actually looking at your game right now. I would say go away, but I guess you're finished. Congratulations on the win. You finished just a bit fast, so I'm just looking at it now because I missed it, but then we're gonna go on to the other games that's also happening. Hmm. Oh man. I was rolling through in the Rook endgame. Oh man, Val's game yesterday was amazing. What a roller coaster, Val. Your game is really, really cool. I mean, you made like you were winning, and then you were losing, and then you were winning, and then the draw. That was really, really crazy stuff. That's the same as like Feet Barbie, and Tome's game was also just so crazy. That's really, really nice. Just realized as well, not just the watch body will fix everything. Yeah, all good, man. That's absolutely fine. Like, I mean, I didn't even notice. I was just looking at the pretty pictures. I sent Junaf, my opponent from tomorrow, I sent him the picture already to show him like how it looks. I hope he's enjoying it as well, yeah. A bit too much counterplay. We'll see. I'm actually just gonna get into the... Okay, again, trying to oppose the rooks. No thank you with the rook trade. Luft. Yeah, I guess Luft. Yeah, you don't want to get on the light squares maybe, and the front means you have to run out anyway. I don't know if h3 is the best way to get Luft here, but it's certainly not the worst. I think the worst would probably be something like this, because then their light square bishop just like slams straight through it, so big problems. Okay. Oh wow, yeah, actually, because then they would do this, you'd have to go up, and then they would do this and take your rook. So, yeah, okay, definitely not the worst. All right, you run up, they attack your f pawn, you attack the bishop attacks your g pawn, your king defends, they take your c pawn. Okay, and white's not going to be worrying about the c pawn. They're going to start running the a pawn. Um, yeah. Okay, runs back, goes up. Oh, okay. Yeah, please don't threaten to miscount and get a draw by accident if you're leading, right? And this situation, yeah, this is actually pretty safe, right? Because they're not attacking the base. Nothing's pinned to your king that needs to move anyway, so yeah, black unfortunately has not much to go on here. Alright, just keep on moving that pawn. Okay, they're gonna try and make you move, then they can take there, or if you take here, they take the back one. Okay, but don't care. You take, they take. Okay. Oh, and king comes out. Stops the rook from coming around the bottom, I guess. Was there any big danger there? Did you even have to move the... Did you even have to move the king? I mean, they can't really, like... You can just run in circles around this bishop, because it's only got the white squares covered. Anyway, okay. Did that. Now they're obviously going for it. Get a check on the king. And double up. Oh, okay, you're just literally just pushing your a pawn to victory, and your king can run away like this or whatever. Okay, up. Are they trying to catch you in some tricky here, or they're just kind of... They weren't low on time. They had a lot of time. So what's the help with this? They want to try push their pawn or something? Okay, gets off the light squares. Go. Check some more. Yeah, I mean, your king's just running in circles here. Okay, and you're getting a queen, so that's dangerous. Pawn starts... I mean, you can just take this, right? Yeah, they open up the diagonal, but... Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. You can still take this pawn. Ooh, you can just take here. Okay, now your king isn't there anymore. Now this is weak, though. Okay, take that pawn. Okay, well, I mean, this is clearly just... Mega struggle bus for black, unfortunately. Ooh, I would like to like do this and then push so they have to run back and then try and mate them in the back rank. I think that's kind of what you're doing here. Run away. Not quite, I guess. Okay, they're trying to stay there. Okay, they're coming out. I think I would have like gone here and just like just done something like that. Would have been kind of fun. Okay, coming in from the back. It's good. Good. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be careful. They don't, yeah, get you, but you are careful, so no problems. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then there is... Yeah, I mean, black was clearly losing all the way towards the end game, right? So GG, but always got to be careful when you're trying to convert that end game, right? Winning and losing in many of your games. Yeah, Val, you've got the tendency, right? Every week it's been quite a roller coaster so far. Tried to prevent the c-pawn from moving, thought the pawns were lost anyway. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, just you're up a rook, right? So I don't think you have big problems. Oh wow, what a good conversion. Now look at that. Just very, very good after that mistake in the opening. Let's see. Okay, so taking the knight is not best. But moving the rook was not best here either, yeah? And then black's big problem. Yeah, man. They should have taken, you know. This was a really nice combination and coordination between these pieces. Alright, GG, Gary. That was amazing. Very, very nice game. And now I think we have to switch over to the games that are still going, including the many games that are coming in. I was very excited to watch them. So yeah, we'll see. I was a bit too concerned about losing my pawns. I guess so. I mean, if you're up a rook, you can trade off everything and you'll still be up a rook, right? So that should still be winning. But I understand the feeling of like, am I winning? Got to be careful. I'm clearly winning, but you know, let's not make a mistake for sure. Yeah, just got to be careful. That's all. Two rooks versus a rook is still winning, isn't it? It's maybe just a little more tricky. But I mean, you should still be able to win that, I think. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to make it more difficult than it has to be. That's kind of the main point. Okay, so congratulations, Gary, on a great win. I actually think that your team is doing really well. But I don't think we are looking at standings today. We are looking at standings again on Monday. Well, maybe it's 2 days away. Maybe we'll have a quick look at the pairings just here for 1 second. My team this time hasn't played much. Fantastic blunders, 4-2 right now. Old moves to blunders. Total lemons also looking good. There's no crying in chess, 3-1. Yeah, Bees Knees, you guys are doing great. 4.5 versus 1.5. You've already won your match. And there's a chance for getting a very strong score still, depending on how PSQ and Borgia do. Borgia is normally a win, right? So that should be pretty good for you guys. Oh, Tesh, the world's oldest goldfish, also crashing this round, 5.5 so far. There's only one game left there, so yeah, they're going to have a good result. And still a lot of games to go though. 3-1 for the Mega team. Oh my goodness, world news right now is crazy. Let's not get into it though. Yeah, looking pretty good. Alright, so shall we get into the remaining games that we have tonight? Yeah, 4.5, 2.5 is pretty good, man. No one's going to be complaining about that. That's a good win, and it's got a little extra chances for some tiebreak points, right? So can't hurt at all. So we've got one game now, and then I believe we've got, oh my goodness, yeah, like 4 games starting, and then one more. So I think we'll probably be catching the next 5 games for a bit. We might even catch the start of these guys, but I'm definitely not sticking around for 8 games over 3 hours. I'm not going to have that level of energy. So let's just get into it with the first one so long. Cody Degan versus Nice Akif. Nice Akif, Cody Degan. I don't think I've played either of these opponents before. Or either of these players before. Nope. And they both joined 2 years ago. Oh, no, Cody joined 6 years ago. Oh, cool. You can see how, like, when people joined League S, that's kind of fun. Oh, hang on. Did I see something? Oh, thanks, Transu. I am time traveling. Give you a little... Yeah, that was a mistake, but it's still fun. What happened here? I'll give you both the embarrassed and the Dr. Evil emoji. The Dr. Evil emoji is definitely my favorite this season. How awesome is that? Alright, here we go. Chess time. Alright, we're looking at E4 Sicilian. Very nice. Oh, okay. I know from like watching some... So I often like when I'm trying to study opening a little bit, I look at like hanging pawns because he's got a nice like a range of theory videos. I'll watch the video. Maybe I'll record it into a study on League Chess for myself, and then I kind of pick the line that I like, that I want to try, and I just look online for people playing it on YouTube, explaining or like speed running or whatever. And I know, for instance, Narodisky's got a lot of really cool videos, and from the black side, he's always trying to get an open Sicilian to show something, and everyone always keeps playing a closed Sicilian against him. So as soon as I see this, I just think like, oh, again, not an open kind of thing. Okay, so not an open. I've tried this in the past. I was terrible at it. My days of playing E4. I mean, was I really that bad? I don't know, but I just don't remember myself being very good. So yeah, D4 definitely came and saved me from myself in a way. Showed me the light. I think, who's that? John Bartholomew has that quote where he talks about when you eventually play D4 and you realize you get like all the benefits plus more versus E4. So yeah, maybe I'll play E4 as a surprise at some point again. Okay, yeah, pretty standard. Okay, this is a Roselimo without This is a Roselimo with the wrong knight out first. That's interesting. Okay, and we just pull the other black knight out. Take! Oh, nice. Okay, so this is also the way I like to do it. The setup here might change depending on who plays it and whatnot, but you do here, and you maybe fianchetto, and then you go for a structure like this, and a structure like this, and this pawn I think ends up here. So you've got really good control of d4. You've also got control like on this queen side, so it's not easy to break these pawns apart. And your light square bishop maybe can sit over here looking down this diagonal here, or you can try and trade it off or something. And this knight, I think you can even at some point then like drop this knight back and break with f5. There's like various ways it can go, but I actually think a lot of the Roselimo setups create a kingside attack, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen this game, but I really like the idea of black being able to develop a kingside attack, although I do not play the kid myself, the King's Indian defense. f4, that is unexpected. Maybe white knows exactly what I'm talking about, and they're like, hell no, you're not going to get this e5 plan. Very interesting. Okay. Actually, this feels more familiar from the black side. I do feel like f4 is a move. I feel like I've actually played someone who plays this. Yeah, okay, so queen comes out, knight, and then e5. Yeah, okay, and just defending. I think white will be very happy if black takes. Black has one less middle pawn for control, and also they get to develop their large square bishop. I gotta ask, where were they going to move their... What were they going to do if white just took here? Do you jump back and then you take again, I guess? Because they can't do this. Yeah, wow, I'm so struggling to look from the white side. So I guess the point is, yeah, if you take here, I'm jumping to put my knight on that square instead. I'm still pinning your knight. And I'm also controlling d4, so you can't push your pawn through too easily. Alright, oh, okay, so no fianchetto on this side. They're just going to put their dark square bishop behind it. That's okay, I guess. I guess this avoids the f5 fiasco a little bit, because f5 doesn't do anything by itself. It's not, there's no hook there or anything, so maybe this is a safer way to play. But this bishop obviously is doing absolutely nothing right now. I do think you put it over here at some point though. Alright, so now they take, and now you can take with your bishop. Develop, and I think here you play b6, just... Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe this is part of the variation. Because you can, you do this. If they take, you get your pawn into d4. That'll be very juicy, I'm sure. I don't think anyone will complain about that. Queen up instead, just defending it. Doesn't want to give black that. I'm guessing everyone castle. Castle's queenside. Oh, this is exciting. I don't know if I've ever seen a queenside castle in the Roselimo. That's a little bit new for me. I don't know. Do you guys castle queenside in the Roselimo? Black knew how to take back. Lots of people just take with the B pawn. Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of taking with the D pawn, and I actually, as I just said, watching Daniel Ranaditsky, I actually think it's a setup that I saw in one of his videos back in the day. It's a really, really, really nice setup. I won a super nice game with it last season or the one before. I'm sure I've also lost a lot of games with it, but I remember playing one where like all my pawns, all my pieces just got into really nice squares. I almost had to do nothing. It was just super nice. So yeah, really, really good. They might pivot to a Grand Prix kind of setup. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Astro is playing his games are very interesting. Oh yeah. We're definitely going to look at Astro as well, man. Astro is my fantasy team. Okay, we definitely got to check out Astro's game as well then. It also looks like we've actually caught up to this game, right? So long castle for white and b5 for black. I cannot say that I trust long castle as white's plan here. Black's already got some open kind of action here, and it's already got two pawns moving forward, and as we just saw, b5 you know, it's already prepared. They already have a pawn over here that can prepare it to go out. So I'm really loving how both players are playing, but I think castling long for white is a little bit much. Dare I say, just a tiny bit, maybe not the best. I do wonder if you actually just want to take, like, who wants to take what here? You know? Maybe you, oh, this is a classic thing we have to take with the bishop. Or, well, you can't take with the knight. You have to take with the bishop, otherwise you fork yourself. That's GG. Okay, let's leave this here then. I'm going to go one move back like I learned last time, and then let's go look at the other games that I'm guessing have opened up, as you just said. You picked him because it's interesting? That's awesome. Very nice. Okay, so let's open up TV. Let's have a look here. So we are currently watching this one already. Here is another one that just started. Let's just quickly see what's happening here. Ah, Oxnard Theory. I think we caught them last time as well, and Mizrab is not someone I know. This is an E4 game if I ever saw one, and it looked like a fresh defense. No, it looks like a King's Indian attack. Another opening that I have tried multiple times, and I just can't figure out how to win as a white. As black, actually, there's some interesting ideas to counter it. Again, I found a fun online video once that I think I learned some setup from it or something. Alright, I like a King's Indian attack though, it's an interesting opening. Obviously there's those classic ones where Fischer just destroys the Mongolian Grandmaster and whatnot, but there's also just some generally good kind of conceptual play in the King's Indian attack. It could be very tactical, very quickly, it could actually turn down and be quite slow. White could go kingside or queenside actually, depending on how the game goes. Alright, opens up kind of like started with the French and went into like a French Sicilian. I like this. I like black's gonna plan. Oh, okay, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna do this. Then I will go here. Pretty good. Good stuff. So this is now basically like King's Indian versus Sicilian, which is different from King's Indian versus French, all versus the Caro-Kann, all versus the what. Like it's different versus every kind of opening. And there's also actually one or two openings where you can't play it actually. Because the opening itself doesn't work. I think for black though, d5 is just a move. You just play d5 and play knight f6. But anyway, okay, fianchetto. Alright, and black's also going to fianchetto, and then this situation is going to make it kind of hard for white to crack the kingside, I guess. So this is probably not going to be a kingside attack as such. Castle, c3, pretty standard. Block the diagonal, maybe a spot for the queen in some cases. This knight in the normal one normally comes around and either that way or maybe in this game it would go to e3 since it doesn't look like a strong kingside attack immediately. Alright, so that's the first game we're catching. ChessDad, awesome. I'm very excited to watch ChessDad again as well. I don't know if any of you watched ChessDad last week. They played an incredibly interesting and aggressive French versus Guitar Spider. And Guitar Spider won eventually, but man, that was, as a person who used to play the French, I was like, I wish I played the French that way. That was super interesting. That was really, really good, and this is very, very good. Alright, hang on. So, Dr. ChessDad versus Shamdi. And ChessDad is white. Wow, it's getting a bit dry in here. Alright, d4, gotta love it. Oh, it's a London. Hello, c5, e3, knight out, other knight out, and knight out. Okay. I think my normal, I don't know. I don't really have a normal, but I think the thing I guess I have a normal because it's just what I've played the most. I think I almost always end up playing kind of this. Like I just put my queen on b6 and something happens. Alright, let's see. Yeah, knight out, other knight out. Okay, so this is basically what I end up playing. This is kind of my standard from black. Takes the pawn. Ooh, no man. Shamdi is not scared. Show me the money. This is unexpected. I do think it's fine. It's not losing for black, but you're asking for trouble, hey? Yeah, okay, careful. Yeah. You can't go grabbing more pawns. Things get bad quickly. You gotta be careful because your queen also doesn't have a lot of squares, right? So right now, can't go anywhere here. Can't go. Okay, sorry. Can't go anywhere here. Can't go. I can't go there. Can't go there. Can't go there. Can take that. Can't take that. Can't take that. Can't. So you literally only have like these squares. But I think that's also why you go to a dark square, because you have to connect to the other ones where you can go. Alright, bishop out. Hits the knight, gets developed. Maybe also works on a way to trap the queen a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe there's no direct queen trap. I'm not sure. This does, of course, also allow you to put a knight out there because this is currently pinned. Alright. Oh, very aggressive. Tell me why. Tell me why. Are you clearing a square for your bishop? Hmm. Like, what stopped you from just doing the same move over here? Did you have to push the pawn first? Actually, kind of not sure. London, boo. Hmm. Come on, lemon, before you finished. Give me that zest. That zest. That zesty zest. Alright, someone explain to me why we played e4 here. If you don't and you just do this straight away, what's the big deal? This isn't here and this isn't here, but neither of these squares look like they matter. Maybe it comes out in a while. So hit the queen run away, and castle. Whoa! What is happening? EXF, queen F. Whoa, this is so crazy prep. Alright, so white says, sure, take a pawn, take a piece, take a, no, wait, take a pawn, take another pawn, how about have a piece, and in return, have absolutely nothing happening on your back line. You've got two knights, zero pawns in the game, and a queen sitting on the sideline. I've got you here, which is going to mess you up. I've got your queen over here, which is going to be in struggle because it's going to have to run away somewhere, and then I can hit it there as well. Then you're going to be struggling to defend it. No, you probably will defend it in that way. I'm also hitting here, in which case you can't castle anymore. Your king is open. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. Very, very interesting. Look, if the London looks like this, I don't think anyone should complain. This is super, super cool. If I was black, I would cry a little bit. What do you do? This move or this move? You need to move one of your minor pieces to make something happen, I think. Is it light square or is it... Yeah, what a position. Val, is it the black bishop or the light square bishop? Which one are we moving? I'm glad you're converted. We are suddenly massive London supporters, but it's only because the game is this interesting. Which bishop do you move in this position? I guess it's the light one. Like if you move the light one and they take here, here, and here, then you can use your black one to defend yourself, I guess. That pawn drops then though. Then you have to move this rook somewhere. Oh my flippin' hell. Or you have to go here, and then this knight still covers the bishop at the back, but I guess they take then. Oh, this okay, so white definitely gets their minor piece back, hey? Yo, this is absolutely amazing. Since it's interesting, you don't think it qualifies as a London. Yo, you're just sour. Sour for days. Okay, Black's a card carrying. Huh? Black's a card carrying member of Pawn Grabbers International. Oh, okay. Is that what that is? A card carrying member, no less. Yo, the eval in this position. This is some crazy prep, eh? Like, honestly, like, sacking two pieces and a minor piece. But I mean, you would take white all day in this position, right? There's just. What do you. Okay, hang on, hang on. I've got it. What if you just, like, take here? And if they come at you, then you, like, put your queen here. Like, just hit. Oh, no, wait, you can't because you're gonna die. You know, just. You kind of, like, go for broke. Like, if you're gonna give me stuff, give me everything. I'll take two minor pieces and two pawns. Although that's still gonna hang and things are gonna get bad. Oh wow. Yeah, look, ChessDad is up 50 minutes as well. Up on time, more than they started with. This is all still walking into whatever kind of hellscape prep. Oh, they sack the queen. Whoa. Okay. So clearly the prep is paid off, right? Wow. Okay, so black realizes they are absolutely screwed and they decide to take the light square bishop. So that is two minor pieces and two pawns for a queen. Definitely not equal, but maybe the best you're going to get. Take here. Difficult to move this without dropping the pawn here. I guess though after here I can take, so that's three minor pieces. Three minor pieces and two pawns for a queen. I take here, you take here. Where do you go with your queen then? You probably want to hit this knight, but I don't know where you want to go. Oh my goodness, absolutely amazing. Okay, alright, so we're caught up on this game. Let's look at one more. We're looking at this one, we're looking at this one. Here's Said Nomini. Said Nomini, isn't this Jordan's team? Said Nomini is playing for, yeah, team as in Teamily. Alright, let's go. Oh, it's Susie Dent. I actually don't know who Susie Dent is, but I believe it's like the board one for this team. Should I take a quick cheating look at the pairings to see if I'm correct? Yeah, Susie Dent pair. Yeah, board one. Board one. Okay, so business prof versus said nominee. I think I've said this before. There are still 6 games in the master database after Queen XB5. No way, it's theory? This this position is still like semi-theory? Wow, crazy. Okay, so white says cool, I'll take your queen for a lot of minor pieces, and black says cool, I'll take a lot of minor pieces for your queen. And a pawn or two, right? Wait, hang on. Are we equal in pawns? Yeah, we're equal in pawns actually in the end. Just worse pawn structure for white. Oh, wow. Okay. Hang on. Let's see. Okay, new game, said nominee. Someone who has kids also stream chess. I don't think they're streaming anymore, but they used to. Goodness, this is nice. I specifically remember them once kind of talking about how they discussed with their wife to have enough time to be doing the streaming and stuff like that. Only one win for white. No way. Wait, he didn't take the queen? Oh, dude, hang on. Oh, because it's still hanging. Wait, so what if black just keeps on taking? Like, I mean, if you take here, you have to take back, right? It's done. But what if you take here, then I take here, then you take here, then I take here, right? Then I've got no more rooks. I've got a queen and 2 minor pieces versus a rook and 3 minor pieces. Oh, wow, okay. So actually taking... Yeah, because the less pieces on the board, the more the queen is going to be... Yeah. Black's like, screw this. I'm not going the long way around. So take with check, and then take the dark square bishop, and then move it here, get on the long diagonal or something. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's a queen, a rook, and a minor piece versus a rook, a minor piece, and you've got this queen for this. Wow, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I want to. Okay, so hang on, Val. Let me just open up the other games at least, but we can come back to this one because this is super interesting. All right, I'm gonna move one back so I don't hear the pieces moving, and let's have a look here. So, business prof, d4, d5, I like it. Knight f6, c4, e6. Are we going to see a Nimzo? Hey, Nimzo. And which Nimzo are we choosing? Last week I had a really nice game in the same-ish with a3. And, okay, we do the Rubinstein, I think, with e3. a3, by the way, a3, e3, and f3 can all kind of transpose in the Nimzo from the white side. So even if you open with the one, you can kind of play the other one eventually anyway. So, alright, b5, pretty solid. Bishop out. Ooh, now you gotta be careful. Yeah, now you gotta do this. Yeah, this is a nice move in the Nimzo as well. I'm a big fan of playing b6 and Fianchettoing on that side. Alright. Okay, and knight in. Alright, double pressure here. I mean, you could just put your queen, and then this is double attacked, and this is defended, and they probably go f5, and I don't know, at some point you castle, and maybe you drop your knight back to push that knight out, or maybe you just play a3 and get the pawn doubling. Yeah, there's f5. Yep. Oh, okay. Interesting. So black actually doesn't want to give the bishop pair away. They would prefer to... don't think I've played or seen this variation. Interesting stuff. Okay, said Normandy seems to have come with some preparation of sorts. Oh, I really like this. Actually, for black, I might even like study this a little bit. I mean, I know the f5 story. Taking... You're just in time to take the knight on c3, right? They castle, and then you grab it with your knight. And then you grab the other knight. And here white has a choice. And I think they chose incorrectly. They took the f3 bishop, but I think they should have taken the dark square bishop instead, because currently this pawn chain and this one diagonal, that's so-so. I think that black would struggle more if they lost the dark square bishop in this position. So maybe a slight misstep by white taking the wrong bishop. I mean, it also messes up the pawn structure around their king, right? So that's clearly also something to keep in mind. A common idea is knight e4, f5. Yeah, knight e4, f5, I'm with you, but I don't think I've ever seen this exact plan where you actually knight e4 and then take the knight you're pinning. That's a bit of a surprise. And then being able to take this is a bit interesting. Yeah, I think that white was supposed maybe to take this bishop as the more important one, and because it fixes their pawn structure, and because it doesn't weaken the pawn structure in front of the king. I think that might have mattered a little bit more. But okay, so now we've taken that. We know that this is not like an immediate loss or something, only a queen or whatever. You know, black is not getting mate here anytime soon. This might even be useful for white to get an attack down the g file. Yeah, so that doesn't really matter that much yet. Ooh, okay. Nice, opens up on the queen, and if you close off, I close off your bishop, and you have to come around a long way. And maybe I can bring in a rook to just keep things together. Mm-hmm. Dangerous. Hits that, also hits that. So there's going to be a check here, almost either way. Check, yeah, for sure. And now you have to move your king. And now I can actually do this, but unfortunately I don't have another piece here. So I need to bring my other bishop over, but this is protected. So yeah, maybe white's okay. They lost a pawn, but black's position is actually kind of tough to play now, and white might get a lot of counterplay once they push the queen out. Yep, here, push the queen, push the queen. Okay, and now it's white to play. This is also an interesting position. I like this as well. For white though, I think white's doing pretty well here. They're up something. No, they're down a pawn. But I feel like... Sorry, well, my eyes are so dry today. Yo. I don't know, I feel like black's position is not fun. I thought that white made a mistake taking the wrong bishop, but black tried very hard just to get a mate instantly, and it was a little bit too excited maybe. They did win a pawn. They won the G pawn. They took it. Black does have a semi-open king, but the queen is misplaced in this position. The knight is years away from being useful. You actually have to break it out. And in that case, I don't know, you probably castle, bring the other rook over. And you did give away the bishop here in the end. A lot of queen and bishop moves, not so much development unfortunately. So now black has some catching up to do. Obviously possible, but yeah, I would definitely want to see like castling d6 maybe to break open the middle. I don't know. Where's your knight gonna go, right? Maybe you can't attack this anymore. This spot gives you nothing. You have to like run around. Oh wow! Imagine this is what you do with your knight. Or you just play g5. I stand corrected. Okay. So black just wants to go for mate, like go for the throat. Who needs the other minor piece and the rook? Whew. What's the plan here? You do this and then here and then push. And if they take, you take again, but you just don't have enough yet, right? I'm not quite believing this plan. I mean, as a person who loves the Nimzo-Indian, I do love the Nimzo-Indian from both sides. I think it's super interesting, very fun game. But I'm not quite sure that this is going to work out so good for black. We will return though and have a look. Let's just go look at the other games that are open as well. Let's just make sure we've got this one on, we've got lacked one, we've got this one on. Here's another one we don't have. Ah, this is Astrominov. Alright, here we go, Fabian and Val. Oh, Val's in here already. You can't wait, you're watching everything at once. Okay, so Astrominov is playing white versus Jolie. Jolie. Playing e4 against a Karo Khan, it seems. This is called the Bishop's opening, I think. e4, Bishop c4. I like this because it actually stops the Karo Khan from happening, doesn't it? Let me rephrase that. It doesn't stop the Karo Khan from happening at all. I can just play it. Yeah, and indeed it looks like that is what black played. Okay. Then I'm not so sure what the point of this is. Is this just to kind of throw you out of theory? Come on, Val, you got to defend Astrominov now. They played some bizarro opening. You want to say something? Here you go. Was it okay? Are you okay? 1 second. Yes. We had someone come and look at our internet because it's been getting worse and worse. I promise it's not my fault. They replaced the router, which may or may not help, but because of their router change, that also changed the password, so we have to have everything reconnected, which is a little bit of a schlep, but it's okay. Get it sorted, and hopefully internet's slightly better. I think it's actually mostly our building's problem, but what are you going to do? This is an interesting opening. I mean, this has got to be just some kind of, I'll do something out of the box, because it's clearly not optimal theory, right? Alright, and black's like, cool, I'll take a pawn, thank you. And out comes the queen. Scholars mate by 2000 and 2001 players. That is unexpected. What kind of theory is this? E6. Knight out. Okay, and this knight out, eh? Trying to come pick up the pawn. Oh, okay. I guess the other point is that you're also pinning the pawn so it can't come defend here. So here, and then maybe you would go down here. So you're still helping. Or maybe you would go down here. I wonder where you would go. Okay, yeah, you just step behind the knight. Interesting stuff. Oh, this is bizarre. I don't think I've seen this opening at all. I wonder if it has a name even. Takes the knight, puts the other knight there, puts the queen back. Very much wants to keep the queen on this diagonal, pressuring this side. I mean, I guess there's this, but it wouldn't actually work, right? Anyway. Oh, and this is where we are right now. Very interesting. Hey, Jordan. Offering e4 is unique. It's a very strange opening, hey. Yeah. And not taking, just being like, cool, there you go. I mean, I guess white got it back, right? Scholars made whatever, pinning the pawn, so you can't play f5 to defend e4. And you can't play knight f6 here because it's too slow. You'd be in serious trouble. e6, then you get your pawn back. So, what's the situation? White's got a queen and two minor pieces out. Black's got, I guess, two minor pieces out, but also got a little bit of pawns. You know, like mini pawn center, a little bit of control, and I guess they can castle. I mean, I guess they would castle. If I was them, I probably would be castling. Interesting situation. EX, bishop e3. Ah, cool. Okay, Jordan, so you're telling me that this is semi-theory, but normally you just trade the pawns first and then you drop back? I could understand that. Giving the pawn up, I guess it's not theory, but it's maybe just a Strominov just trying to do something a little bit different, you know, just keep it interesting. Alright, opening up on the queen. Nice spot for the knight as well. It can get kicked, it can get taken, but it's not bad. And this is a very, very... Isn't this like kind of like a Scandi kind of opening situation? I feel like queen out, queen back, and then these two pawns up. Isn't that like the thing that, what's his face, John Bartholomew always plays? He puts these, queen comes out, bishop gets developed, and then I don't know how the game continues because I don't play the Scandi and I don't play e4 nowadays, so it's mostly confusing. Yeah, Val says rushing back into the pin. Yeah, basically something like that, putting that queen back into the pin. And now you got to make some moves. And Jolly is up 41 minutes versus 27, so it does look like Astrominov is Astronominov. I'm sorry, there was an extra zero in there. O in there. Astronominov is using a bit more time to figure all this out. Okay. Hitting a pawn. I mean, you don't have your darks with bishop yet, but I guess, yeah, queen there is a bit dangerous. Here, Then I do this, I have these plans. I guess you're okay though, because you got this as well. So maybe not too dangerous. Dawn, yeah, I think black's okay to castle, to be honest. Because the knight is here, they can put their bishop on the side to defend the pawn backwards. And there's no e-pawn to push the bishop off of the square. And this knight isn't going to, you know, push the bishop off that square quickly. Maybe it's not the end of the world in terms of how to do it. Take, take. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Maybe here, why you block your queen. Ugh, okay. So on there. Yeah, it looks like black should be okay here actually, I think, with the castling. What do you say, Jordan? Let me check. Yeah, but now I'm curious about what is achieved with all this. I think white has achieved fun. That is my understanding of what I'm seeing on the board. I don't think white achieved anything material, but they played kind of like a obscure-ish way. Maybe black gets a bit unsure what you're doing, although clearly black just kept on playing, like didn't care. Maybe there was a few tricks inside the opening, so if black misstepped, then something would go wrong, but clearly they didn't, so. Exactly, it does look like Astronominov is the one who's a little bit unsure. Yeah, and black does castle. It does look like it's okay for them. I would trust the 2100 to be able to know if they can castle. So if they did it and I thought it was okay, it probably is okay. I'm going to jump up to one more game here. Is there two more? Well, I think we've got this game open. Killer, they had such an interesting game last week. Cody, we've got, hang on. Codygen, Mixstar, Dr. ChessDad, Business, Astronominov. Here we go. Okay, so there's 6 games and we have all 6. MN1171 versus Killager. Killager played a super fun and aggressive game last week. What did they play? I don't remember, but they played something very interesting. Very aggressive. Did they play against the French? No, that's probably something different. Anyway, it was a very, very interesting one. So I'm hoping that the game this week is looking pretty good too. Let's see. Emin versus Killager. So d4, knight f6, c4, g6. So looking like a kid maybe. In more ways than one. People who play the kid are so kid. Goodbye. Finished. Alright. Oh, a Grunfeld. Alright. Killager says, welcome to the Grunfeld. Exchange variation. I always play this because I've never learned another variation versus the Grunfeld. Takes. Bishop c4, c5. Knight e2. Importantly, you can play knight f3, I think, but it makes it more complicated. Knight e2, you know, this bishop can't pin your knight. You can just play f3 and have this kind of pawn structure, which is kind of nice. There is one or two variations in the Grunfeld, I think, where black is able to just trade off everything, though. I forgot exactly what it is, but it basically ends up being like you have to trade queens, and then after that you trade the pawns, you trade the bishops, you trade the knights, and like they just go straight into like queenless, almost endgame situation. Which kind of sucks. I mean, the fact that white I don't think can avoid it. If you don't see the line coming, you actually have to just let them trade everything off. So yeah. Anyway, knight e2. Oh, actually, I'm starting another video, another like short video series, a tournament review from last year when I played in the Tokai Open in Nagoya, and I played 2 Grunfelds there. And I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, this is making me think about those. I got to do some serious learning in the Grunfeld in one of those games. Alright, knight e2, knight c5, yeah, c6, bishop. This is all super standard positions. Oh, I think this is the I think this is the line that I played in that one. Except I think my knight was not here, it was on f3, f3. But I think this is the pawn sack line. I took one and then I took another one. But it just got so bad for me. This is it. This is the same line. Oh my goodness, this is literally like the thing I was just talking about. Oh, the game I got to do so much learning about is this one. This kind of opening where black sacks a pawn on the queen side. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So in my game, I think black put their... How did they do this? I think they played their light square bishop out. And eventually their dark square bishop, I think they took my pawn and they like played it back. Because at some point basically they had their queen and their two bishops like trained on my king. It was really, really tricky for me to figure out what to do. Oh wow. Okay. Can't believe it's the same. So I don't know what the name of this line is, and I'm actually just going to look it up so we can do a little name study together quickly. Okay. There's no name for it. That is unfortunate. But you will see that Rook B1, very natural. Doesn't score too bad for black. Let's see in the... Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, it's okay for white, but black has a slight advantage in this whole thing. Gave up a pawn and doing better. That's just not fair. Yeah, I wonder, would they come here? Oh, you know what? No, that's a different... That was the other one. I glanced through all those games today before I recorded the first video. I think my request... I think they jumped in the one game they jumped their knight to e5, hitting a few of my things. That feels familiar to me. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna come back to this to see what happens with this pawn sack. Let's just go back to the start again quickly and see what we've missed. So, oh, okay, yeah. So I really liked the way that black was setting up, but I also didn't specifically know about this long castle by white. This seemed a little bit much. Yeah, I remember b5. Okay, gets out of the pin. h6. h6. I guess you're trying to also take care. Can you? Oh, 1 second. Yeah, sorry. I'm back, I'm back. I have no sound. No, it's you. Ach, it's me. I muted quickly. I just wanted to make sure if there's enough space here. I might have to go to the other room rather. But let's just see first. Depends on what we're doing. Okay, where were we? H6. Yeah, tricky. Alright, maybe we're gonna make a quick move here. I'm gonna put on some music for 5 seconds. Listen to that. And let's quickly change positions. Alright, yeah. Sorry about that. Um, my wife's had a long day and she's not too excited to have me sitting in the corner of the room talking about chess. So maybe for everyone's safety, mostly mine, maybe better just to continue this out front over here. So we've moved to the tiny room. You're moving in real time, we're moving to the tiny room. I just need to make sure everything's set up, so give me 2 seconds. I was trying to figure out about this H7 move though. I guess mostly it was just kind of protecting a bit of space, giving the king some lift. Okay, king b1, maybe they just... I guess it's always a good move after castling, but why didn't they just do it before? Maybe white doesn't know exactly how to proceed. And given that they've gone down on the time so much, maybe they just wanted to get a move in, so king b1 to pass the buck back to black. a5. Yeah, I don't know. Black basically had the position set up for a king side, for a queen side pawn storm, so it's just so easy all of a sudden to push all these pawns, right? That's very dangerous. Oh, I realize my face is super black. Give me 1 second, I need to bring a light or something. This is the real deal. You're seeing all of it happen literally as I always set up beforehand. But no, it's not beforehand. No, it's midstream. There we go. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's all regulars. For some reason, concurrent viewers hasn't even dropped much, and all you've had is basically just the back end of the small room in my house to look at. But obviously, very happy that people have stuck around while that happened. Alright, mic is working. I'm still here. I've got a fresh drink. And you guys can't read this. I think all you can see is new. So let me actually, where's my Kemen? That says lemon sour in Japanese. New, new, Nihonno, like Japanese, or the thing from Japan. Oh fuck, I'm sorry. New lemon sour. And then what it says at the bottom, kukinai, sukunai, balance. Oh, okay, so a good balance between something and something else. Here we go. Alright. Back into the chest then. Apologies for all the delays. Uh, yeah, so I don't know. A5, very easy for black to drum up an attack. White is not looking like they're in a good spot. E5 by black though, kicking the bishop or kicking the knight. I guess this is a spot where black can take the knight first and then they can take the pawn. They don't have to move their knight. Or they can take this way and then jump their knight back. Okay, interesting. Oh, I actually thought they wanted to jump their knight here maybe so they can try and hit the knight in front of the king and hit the queen, and then they would trade off. Because even trading off I think is good for black in this position. White's just kind of in a weird spot, and black can send all of those pawns as much as they want. They don't have to keep any of them alive, right? So doesn't look like a good spot for white, even if you start trading off more of the pieces. Oh, there's the aircon, thank goodness. Alright. Alright, anyway, queen up as well, hits this pawn. There's no light square bishop to make a plan here though, so not the most dangerous, but I guess you're putting some pressure on the pawns. Takes the... How do you take back? Is it rook and you double up, or is it pawn? I think it's pawn actually. I think in this case if you're white, you take with your pawn, because then you can push and you can try and... Oh, it's going to be hard to protect this pawn because you can't push past it because then your queen's in the front. Maybe you take with the pawn, you push up, and then you have to, like, I don't know, like move your queen back and put your rook behind it so you can keep on pushing. But I feel like that's kind of the way you could have made an easier attack for white. Anyway, takes with the rook. I guess it makes sense, obviously, but this pawn is hard to protect. Oh, it doesn't even try. Who needs to protect the pawn? Alright, rook over. This pin would obviously also make the h-pawn weak, but nothing attacking it right now. Now it's being attacked, and also this knight is pinned to the queen. That's pretty nice. Okay, defends that pawn. I wonder if there's some kind of like... there isn't. Okay, this might be a good time to bring out the other knight actually. Because here that pawn is pinned as well, so this square is weak and this square is weak, and you can hit that. So knight, yes, I like that by white. Knight e4 looking really good. Queen e7. Oh, it does go for it. Wow. Okay, so you've got two pieces at defending it, two attacking it. White is down a pawn, but I don't think it's a position where it matters quite yet. What happens if the king just moves out of the way, though? Nothing's actually being attacked by this jump. Maybe you do this to attack that, and then when they come at you... There's no mate here, unfortunately. Oh yeah, you can take that way, but you still have to put your queen in. So I actually think for black the safest is just to move their king and just be like, alright, cool, you checked me, congrats. And then if you start coming at them like this, they can still take your knight afterwards. So I think just stepping out of the way is super good. Step out of the way, yeah, because this isn't check, this, I'll step out of the way, this is check. You have to take, but there's no mate there, right? There's a rook on the back rank, so yeah, I think black's still okay. Just with dodging the situation a bit. Just with getting out of the way. They've got quite a bit of time though, they can slowly think about this. They don't have to make an immediate move. The other option for black is just to take, and if they do, yeah, no, that's clear. If they did take, I don't think white had an in-between move that mattered either, because there's still enough defenders, so they would probably just end up trading. But then white would be up a exchange, right? So that's pretty good for them. Gotta move. Gotta move. Oh, I know, it's white in trouble again. Not a lot of time left. The only move that looked like a follow-up for me was to jump the knight over there, pressure the pawn. Nothing else really looked like it mattered. I guess if you do this, black maybe just does that. Yeah, okay, there we go. I mean, you're looking for like some kind of unexpected dynamic move that like breaks the situation, but nothing's really hard to attack anything. The pawn isn't pinned, so you can't like take the pawn here. If the pawn is taken, it doesn't open up any immediate winning threat. If you do this... Oh, hello. Okay. That's a different situation. Knight back, just covering the whole thing up. What if I take... Can I get something done here? Just nothing. I don't think white's got anything here as an attack, hey? I think you just gotta back off, go for some of the pawns here, something. But you don't want to, right? Like, as white, you don't want to start taking the pawns in front of your king. There's way more space around your king to be attacked. You know, like, these three pieces can come and attack, and it's hard for you to make sure you've got enough defenders. What to do? Maybe you move your queen back, and then you just fork. Trade off. And try and make a plan like that. Like, if both knights are off, maybe there's a bit more space to try and attack around the black king, you know? Doesn't look like this light's working. Should I just do... Whoa, that is mega bright. Okay, hang on. I think that's... We don't need to be staring at the sun. It's still incredibly bright. Let me just put something... Let me dampen that a little bit. Goodness me. Okay, that's better. That's better. There we go. Me and my sour lemon doing good. Okay, yeah. Alright, I guess that accomplishes basically the same thing I was wanting to do. Except now with this they can... Okay, never mind, because this is check. Yeah, and I think white just goes for a trade-off. I think that'll kind of work. Alright, we're going to keep on moving because we've got to get through the rest of the games a little bit. This one, this King's Indian attack was still developing. My expectation was that it wasn't going to be a King's side attack though, because of the way that black has been developing. It's just really, really tough to break through that, I think. Yeah, c3. I did think that was going to be a move. There's some standard stuff you can do. Oh my goodness, here. Oh my goodness, here I think is a standard one. The queen over, the rook over here. This bishop sometimes comes to sit on the f4 square just to look down this diagonal. Right, and yeah. This is almost always a great move for black. And now this position starts to resemble the Roselimo a little bit that we saw in the other game, except that white has the light square bishop and black still has both their knights. So similar but not the same, right? Similar but different. It's weird to have more of the light being behind me instead of in front of me. I don't know if I can find like a different way to cover this. Because this is clearly way too bright, but at the same time it's very bizarre looking back and seeing that the room is brighter than me. That's a little bit strange. Okay, I'm gonna give up like this. I'm a little bit blinded, but it seems like it's working. It's better than nothing. It's not better than nothing. It's kind of crap actually. What's this? Does this look like something I can cover it with? Goodness me, sorry, there's so much. Okay, here we go, here we go. That actually kind of works. Alright, I'm gonna give up. Let's go with it. Alright, so c3, e5. I like that for black. Okay, bishop out. I've played a position like this as black as well. Pretty nice here, although I feel like my knight jumped back here. Maybe my knight was here actually. I get this position and I pushed my pawns on the queen side. Oh, and white says, while your king is in the middle, how about I open up? Takes, takes, and defense. Oopsie. Takes, and defense. So let's see. If you didn't defend, if you took again, you would just be isolating your pawns on the middle, right? So that's not good. And this is something that I think often gets overlooked in my games, but I'm guessing other people make the same mistake. Clearly black is crushing this square right now, but white has also got a lot of things that come up behind it, right? So it's not as easy for black just to say, I completely own this square. And then, even if black had enough defenders, so they can still keep a pawn alive out there, so if they could take here and keep the pawn, right, if it was safe, they would still have two isolated pawns. So like winning the pawn breaks your pawn structure, so it's not worth it. So it's a really nice move for for white. I don't always see this coming from the black side. I just think, oh, okay, I've got this square covered, it must be safe. And then all of a sudden I realize, like, oh my goodness, if I keep on taking, it's a disaster. What's going on? So be careful for sure. Oh, I also think my connection might be super bad. And unfortunately, there's no way for me to just fix that. I have to basically go offline to fix it, and if I do that, then we're going to have some other problems. So I'm just going to say, still live? I hope I'm live. I don't think my... Oh, actually, it looks like it's very much still live. Okay, but I am aware that I'm way far away from where the router is, and because we replaced it today, the extender isn't happening. Not that I even know if the extender would help or not, but yeah. Anyway, there's a game to look, so yeah. Okay, so black doesn't fall for this whole story, they just defend, so if you take, they can take back, and there's another good structure. Knight out, very nice. Bishop out, also good. Okay, and you do take... yeah, I guess so. I guess that's fine. Could have... Yeah, I guess you'd rather take than not. Okay, queen trade or not? Probably not a queen trade. Oh, okay. White doesn't even care about asking for the queen trade, just puts it on black to the side. I'll attack your bishop first. Bishop back, queen up. Okay, trying to trade off the dark square bishop maybe. Castles into it, bishop h6. Okay, and bishop e4. Why didn't he just play bishop e6 the first time? Maybe was this a mouse slip? Oh, you're just trying to avoid the queen trade. I wonder. Anyway, alright, so we're back. I like white's general play, and black's actually. I think both have, for the most part, got all their pieces out, pretty good positions. This knight probably wants to improve a bit. This queen needs to get off the back rank, and I mean this is easy, right? So you almost definitely want to put your queen on c7 and run the rook over. I mean, even other alternative you can do is you can take first, and then after that you can run your own queen in. I don't know if there's anything to attack right now, but it might be fun if nothing else. Okay. Black just says thank you very much. I will take your pawn, your bishop. Should be slightly. Hey, thanks, Gary. I guess my connection is actually doing really good today because I'm very far away from the router, so I'm glad if it's still live. If it starts to get a bit choppy, please let me know because I can't see so clearly from my side. It just tells me dropped frames, which is a kind of arbitrary number for me. I don't really know always what the point is. Okay, so I'm super glad. Okay, and black's probably just going to take back. And then white, I wonder, they're just leaving this tension. They're like kind of like allowing the queen trade. Black can throw in this first if they want to. Make the knight go somewhere else. Then take back here. And this does give them the chance to maybe move one of their knights over here, here, here. They have to move their knight back or the other way around. Yeah, so if black wants a queen trade, this might be a good chance for it because it displaces the knight. Displaces, misplaces. Which one would really be the relevant one? Okay. Alright, off to the next one. Let's go back. ChessDad. Oh, this game is finished. Okay, hang on, hang on. We really have to. This game was amazing. I'm going to go into the analysis because I want to see. I want to understand, like, not. I don't have to look at the analysis itself. I want to understand how far this was theory because this was amazing. This was such a prep bomb. Feed Barbie would be so jealous. Eating his heart out. Alright, accelerated London. I mean, it's just London nowadays, right? Alright. Still pretty normal stuff. Still pretty normal stuff. Queen b6. And then DC is main line, and queen takes is main line. I know this. I was looking at this briefly the other day. Rook b1 is fine. I don't really know queen c3 so much. Queen a3 is kind of a more standard looking move to me, but I can see clearly the theory. Bishop b5, still main line. What's the name here? Steiner's counter gambit. Okay, but anyway. Okay, we didn't get e6, we got g6 instead. So e6 is apparently the main line. But also looks like it continues similarly. Let's see here. Oh, e4 isn't so good there. So maybe this is just. Oh yeah, e4 main move. dx, bishop e5, queen a5, castle, exf. Okay, and here white also went different. But I mean, it just looked so strong. Just taking with the queen first. This whole coordination just looks crushing. Looks so strong. Okay, so it looks like top GMs, top whoever. Duda? Is that the Duda we know? Which Duda is that? Okay, there was still one black player who won this, but basically everyone in the Masters data book. Yeah, one white one, one black one, and the rest drew. So queen takes, and then rook can take, or bishop takes first. And interestingly, rook takes looks like it's not quite as good. Ah, okay, interesting. Yeah. So you gotta take with the bishop first, it's best for white. Then f1, then king f1, then takes, then queen takes, then rook g8, knight e4, knight e4, because what? You're gonna threaten this, so they have to take, and then what you take with your pawn, you take with your queen. I wonder. Bishop e7, knight e6, takes, and okay, and here the kind of theory continues, taking with the whoopsie daisy, taking with the pawn, and then okay, then you figure out your b pawn situation, either pushing it or defending it. All right, but we took with the queen here. What? Alright, so black had a chance to be slightly better here by playing g5 in this position. Why would you ever? g5, I mean, the point is probably to pick up the rook, right? To get it super active quickly, but wow. Yeah, I would have struggled to find that. Okay, didn't. a5. Oh, and now we're just losing. Is it because I take like... No, my queen's not worth enough. Oh, I see. Well, hang on. Because I was thinking maybe it's like this, and here. But what if you just move your king like here? Do I check you again and I push my pawn? Okay, slightly different. Okay. Gets out of the way. Because if you take here, the rook is weakened, right? Takes... Oh, and doesn't take back. I guess takes back, obviously, just... Bishop e6. Now mate in 3. 1. And what are you going to do? Oh my goodness, you can run your bishop away to make more space for something. G5 mate. Or bishop, check, and then the king runs, and then mate. Oh my goodness. GG. Dr. ChessDad, what a game. 275 is the Duda? Dude, that is amazing. My man Esther anything that work for your fantasy scene. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna watch that as well, but ChessDad just, man, what a game again. Immense. That is some interesting prep, man. Goodness me. So crazy. Alright, here's Sid Nominee versus Business Prof. So this one I really liked Sid Nominee's like general position at the start. I think White made a bit of a blunder. But then Black continued to just try and attack constantly with like 2 pieces, and I just didn't think it was enough. Okay, yeah, so this we saw G5. Rook over, now this pawn's weak, pushes it again, but that obviously opens up this diagonal as well, so, could do something like this, for instance. Okay, or just lift the rook. Here comes the bishop. Yeah, d6. We need to get the other knight in the game, right? Queen over with a nice little check. Knight over, defending. Ooh. White's coming on the counter-attack now. Gotta be careful, they're not gonna take. Maybe you castle at this point, but then this hangs. So maybe you castle long, but then they just take everything, and all of a sudden, like, your whole position is open. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Oh, don't even castle, just move out of the way. Probably the best move, to be honest. Well, maybe you might have just castled in that game, and you hang this pawn as well. Okay, yeah, tough position. Okay, now they're croaking open. Hits that. It's got a national jump here as well, which hits that, and also hits the F pawn. So that's actually not a bad... This pathway might actually be quite useful. Queen in hitting the rook. Rook over. Hitting the bishop. Oh, and the queen also defends this e4 square, which was the amazing job that we had. So that's a bit unfortunate. You don't want to take here because you lose instantly. And obviously here you're threatening just take the knight and then mate. Alright, so knight jumps out of the way, takes the pawn. Still looking pretty good for white though. Okay, just gonna bring the bishop around and try and mate you again anyway. Okay, dark square bishop comes out. Helps the queen come in, I guess. Yeah. Out comes the rook. Oh, this is getting dangerous. Okay, pushing the other ones around. Don't know what you can do right now, really. Gonna bring another piece around. Just everything putting pressure on black now. I actually... Oh no, this is here. I was gonna say, like, doesn't this just win? But that knight is covering it right now. Okay, so you're coming back around, I guess. Okay, knight jumps out. Oh no, but the knight's covering the first one. This... Oh, but your queen can't move because it's... Oh my goodness, isn't this just... Oh shit, then white found it. Oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't this just crushing now? Your queen can't get out of the way. You have to take, basically. But if you take, it's mate. Oh, that is tough. And also, you've still got this pressure down the file on your king. Oh, that is so tough for black now. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. That is very tough. I think black unfortunately stepped in it here, hey? I don't know how far back, but So I don't know which move went wrong, but after they got a really nice position here, like the check, all good, you get a check, but I think they got just a little bit carried away, just with everything else. Castling, getting your bishop over here, and like getting your other knight out or something. Yeah, I think we got a little bit too excited with our... Here, still not castling. It's unfortunate. Okay. Okay, yeah, they had to take the bishop to crash the mate at least. Take, and now the knight hangs. Oh, but this is also check, and that also hangs, and you also have a check here. Oh, this is tough. Actually, I don't even think you have to worry about the knight. You can probably just take, and if you take back, I can take again. You have to run to one of these. Either way, I can check you with my queen. This is mate, so you probably run this way. Then you have to run to one of these. I can check you again. I also got a rook coming in to check you. I think that's basically like a mate situation. Maybe you can like survive a move or two like this. Where's my queen checking you from at that point? Was this my queen? I don't remember. Maybe I can take here. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough situation. But I think white might be able to get something done here. Okay, let's go on to the Strominominov then. And it's done! Okay, sorry, this is what you guys were saying, the game was already finished. Game of the month? Okay, hang on. What am I missing? Okay, this was the opening where it didn't really make sense what the hell white is doing. Haha, scholars made for the jokes, but okay, hang on. It is theory. It's the hillbilly attack. Well, I was gonna say, what in the world? Am I still... I wasn't trying to analyze anything, I was just trying to open up the Aranarisa Sisu. Okay, this is called the hillbilly attack, that's awesome. D5, bishop e3. Okay. So this is actually a thing where you don't take the pawn, you just run back. Interesting stuff. Queen out, joking scholars make. G6 is apparently the main move, E6 also okay, knight C3, knight F6, queen H4. Okay, and here knight BD. Carlsen versus Tomaszewski. I don't know who that is, but it looks like Carlsen played this 2015, some time ago. Alright, out with the other knight. Back into the pin on purpose. Gets out. Does castle. Does look like it's fine for black. Does look like it's fine for black. Yeah, and does come out with e4. Oh, sorry, d4, which opens up the dark for the bishop. Oh, wow. Okay, just walks into the... Why? What was the point of this? Why does it matter if they play c3? Okay, you could have just... Interesting, though. Oh, okay, this is what you were going for. I mean, I would think this is super interesting, but it looks like it's kind of losing. Oh, you could have just taken with the bishop. And then if they take back, you can take with the queen, yeah. Queen first was apparently not the move. Oh yeah, this is classic, right? Alright, so you go here, then they go here, then your queen's stuck, life sucks. No one's happy about anything. Okay. We'll check on the side. I mean, it's not looking all bad, I guess. You've got a rook for 2 minors. That's not the best trade, unfortunately. Oh. I mean, it's not recommended, right? You don't trade 2 active pieces for 1 active piece. Oh, the Dr. Chess, yeah, that was obviously also a really, really, really nice game. And Dr. Chess's last game was also really good. Guitar Spider spoiled it by playing really well and defending. Yeah, Dr. Chess is actually becoming one of my favorite people to follow. They've got really interesting games. Oh, this was just a boo-boo. Oh, because your queen's basically stuck. Still kind of stuck. Oh, another piece down. Not good. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, this is just... Black with the queen coming out just made a massive boo-boo. Although, I don't know, trading 2 pawns and a rook for the active piece was also a bit... Oh no, what did they trade? Oh yeah, they did trade the 2 because they lost the bishop in the corner eventually, right? Okay, 5. Oh man. White is so awake here. Every little trick is working for them. And black resigned. Why does black resign? Because black is down 2 pieces. And that is tough. Wow. That is tough. Well done, Estromi Nominov. Yeah, I can understand when you put like someone like this into your whatchamacallit, your fantasy team. That is an interesting game. It's just such a strange way to play it, and it works so well. Oh, interesting here. This was apparently the move. Just hitting the... Oh, you know what? I think I kind of get it. You're doing this because you're expecting the queen to just kind of move off the diagonal, and then you do this, and they only have... Wait, but this was the better one. Nope, I don't understand why. Clearly, I don't have the right understanding, because that actually turns into the same move that they were doing anyway, so it doesn't save them anything. Alright, so that's another game done. And oh, there are so many more that started. Right, I was actually just going to stream until 12. It's already 12:24. Okay. Alright, hang on. Killager playing the pawn sack Grunfeld. Okay, bishop over... Oh, they do put their bishop out. Maybe this is the theory line then. Because I feel like that's something I recognize a little bit. Okay, here. Queen up. Double attacking that pawn. Triple attacking that pawn. Bishop. Ooh, ah, that's dangerous, isn't it? Because if I go here, I'm attacking your queen. If you move, I can take your rook. Yeah, and they did take. Queen c8. Isn't this just losing, though? Can't I just take here? Oh, I guess this is double attacked. I can also do... Oh, this is what they did. Yeah, I can also just oppose you. And if you take, I fix my pawn structure and I'm up 2 pawns. Although this one's probably dead. Hmm. Yeah, that knight's not in the best position. I wonder if you'd want to jump your knight over here right now. Eyeing that square with the fork. Eyeing that square with the fork. So white would have to see both of these and move this rook to try and avoid everything. Where would you move the rook? Maybe up somewhere. Or not there, you can't. Maybe there. Oh, that's still the same fork. Wow, this looks really nice because it's a little bit tricky to avoid running into the fork anyway. This forks these two, this forks these two, this also forks that one. Sorry, there. Oh, I'm just putting too many circles on. And also because you jump here, you cover the square, so it's hard to go there to begin with. So you've only got kind of these ideas with your rook. Tricky stuff. I feel like it's got to be the move, to be honest. Your knight is sitting there doing nothing. I guess the only thing for black is they're kind of wondering, no, 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 but you don't want to take because you fixed their pawn structure. So if they're going to take, let them. At least they keep their isolated c pawn, so you can try and pick that up later. So almost definitely this is the move for black here, I think. I don't know if I'm missing anything big. Your queen can come in here, but I don't know if that... Does it really matter that much? I mean, these guys are defending each other great. You can just run your queen away somewhere else, you know. Sideways, up. Here. Here, you can run it there, I guess. Still defends it from there. If not that it needed defending, you still got that. I think that works pretty well, right? Okay, so maybe we'll go for like a little bit longer then, since it turns out that I haven't finished my second drink, and we actually had like a million other games just starting. So 1 second, let me just see if I'm clashing with everyone else. Classic engagement bait. Engagement bait. Hang on, what's my bait here? Oh, the fact that it's the wrong season. Who doesn't want to time travel? Give the people what they want. What else? No, that was just a silly, like a little mistake. Go for some malfunction. I know to they can fix each factory reset it. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Okay. I hope you fix your computer quick, yo. I'm sorry to see its problems. Okay, hang on. Okay, before we start new games, let's just finish the games that we actually were watching, because I feel like that makes a bit more sense. So this game also finished. So this was the really cool one where it was kind of like a Roselimo, but... Oh no, this was the King's Indian that looked like a Roselimo, right? Okay, and they castled King's side, they castled... Apologies. They castled Queen's side, which looked very dangerous for white, and more so as the game progressed. And then white had an interesting kind of push on the king's side to try and get an attack going, but they didn't quite seem to have a knockout, and they got pushed back. Oh, okay, I didn't expect that. I guess if my queen was going here, I would have had the same problem though. Although you can, and you can't take that either. So maybe this was good because you could take that pawn, but then you're actually opening up the files. Maybe you don't want to. Alright, queen back. Triples up on the file. I would definitely push something against my king now. Push up a pawn. Yeah, it's looking scary, man. You gotta push. You gotta push something up now. Okay. Wow. Okay. Black has got zero chill, no mercy. Just covers that completely. Okay. I wonder if you wanna. Nah. Maybe. Nah. I don't know. Still a bit tricky though. Okay. Over defending the knight which was hit. Oh yeah, because you're actually taking the knight squares away from each other. Okay, and in comes the queen. Now I'm over here on you. Oh, and I'm also over here on you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see. So you're going to be going here. And I'm going to be like, hey, how about I just do this? And then you take, and I take. Actually, it doesn't matter. The fact is I've got two defenders with that. So here, then you take, then I take again, and I'm forking your king and queen. So yeah, there it happens. Queen runs up, I take, and I put another one down, and you have to. GG. Yeah. Unfortunate for white. Castling into queen side was just a little bit too much, I think. There was just I mean, there's just so many pawns here. And that's not actually why they didn't win in the end, actually. The pawns didn't force the game at all, but yeah, it felt so uncomfortable. I guess if there was an attack, that would have worked out well. Well played by Black. Good finish. Well done finishing that game. Okay, so that's another one done. And then we've got these three, and here's another one that's finished. Okay, so let's go back a bit. Oh, okay. This is it, Nomini and Business Prof. This is the Nimzo, which I think got a little bit overexcited with their attack. And beautiful move by White here. Sacking the bishop, but it's a pin attacking the queen, and the queen is the one defending against the mate at the back, so you have to sack the queen to take the mate off the board, but I mean, you're basically just losing at that point, I guess. So there, and then there's just so many options for White on how to proceed here. Oh, okay, Black just took back and resigned, because it's here, and you've got two moves. And then for either one you can check, and you can bring your other rook in as well. So for instance here, 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 and that's mate. Here, here. Which way do you go then? Maybe just up, it's easy enough. And you've got these three squares. Anything at the bottom, I just come in and check you again. And I don't know, things are just getting bad very quickly. I not want to be excited. And if you go backwards, where's my queen at that point? Here, you're back here. Yeah, I can check you again here. You have to come out, and then it's mate anyway. So that's probably mate in X at that point. Alright, GG. That was a tough one. As I said, I like the Nimzo from both White and Black, so I like to see it played. I also sympathize with both colors when something goes wrong, because I've had those situations before. Alright. This one's still going. We can just catch up with this one a bit, so... Alright, White was trying to trade off the bishops. They did get that. Oh, okay. And Black did decide to take the queen, to misplace the knight, and then they can obviously push it around. So it was just, it doesn't really matter, but it wins like maybe a tempo, kind of. It feels like it wins a tempo. Rook over, knight over, nice. Takes control of that square before the other knight jumps back. Although it doesn't look like there's actually too much to it. This is protected, this isn't a fork anymore. So maybe they can just push their knight back and it doesn't matter. Okay, instead they push a3. Oh, I guess the point is that after they jump, you don't want to move and lose it, but you would be able to attack the knight, so I don't think it really matters, but whatever. Alright, back, defends it, h4, bishop in. Oh, did you just drop a rook? That rook needs to be protected, and it's unprotected. So if I check your king and you take it with your knight, I take your rook. Ooh, I think White went a little bit wrong with that move. Bit of a danger, guys. A little bit dangerous. It obviously depends if Black sees it, though. If Black doesn't see it, doesn't matter, but yeah, unprotected pieces, right? Unprotected pieces which are hiding behind your opponent's pieces, which they can move. Oh man. Yeah, I guess the thinking was, if you take my knight, I can take with the rook, but it doesn't cover the e2 square, unfortunately. Oh, and Black does find it. And I see here, if you did here, then I could have taken your knight. Same problem. So actually this knight, this rook actually just couldn't stay on the file. It had to move either here or here, because both of these get forked in one of the... Okay, this direction doesn't work. So actually that could have gone here maybe, because this gets taken, so that's okay. But this would be a terrible, all their rooks are sitting on the side of the board. Alright, but Black did find it, so Black's gonna take knight, and then they're gonna take rook and be up in exchange, which should be pretty good for them. White does have something maybe on that loose knight in the back later on, though. There is still a way for them maybe to make some progress there. Oh, I said black, I meant white. White has a potential plan maybe to win something. Although after this gets taken, you know, they can maybe just put their knight in, trade it with the knight that's on e2. Okay. And then the other game that we were following, okay, here and Killager did play knight c4, and now it's got all of these interesting ideas. This is an idea, this is a cover. It's got these interesting ideas. Also, I guess it gives you something like this if you want to just like push the queen away, and also this pawn is hanging. So you've got this pawn hanging. Pretty good move for black. What would you do if you were white in this position? That's a tough one. Black says in the chat they're not sure if they have compensation for 2 pawns. I can understand that. 2 pawns is losing if you don't have compensation, right? You got to be careful. But hopefully they're doing okay. I didn't miss anything else. Yeah, hopefully they're doing okay. I mean, you want the game to be interesting, right? You don't want just someone to crush. Although sometimes that's fun to see as well. Some crazy interesting line. Okay, I think white's still kind of figure out what to do in that position, and frankly speaking, I think you're going to have to give one of your pawns back, and I think you have to move one of your rooks. So, yeah. It has to be this rook. So what you could do, if you wanted to, is you could move the rook here, and you could trade off one of the... Maybe they take, and then you guys trade off some of the rooks, but I don't know. Then this is also weak. They still have this check, which picks up the e4 pawn. Yeah, things are looking a bit rough. Little bit rough. Funny animator says knight f4, knight d2, knight d5. Oh, threatening a fork. Queen e6, queen b8 check, rook x check, bishop f8. Oops, sorry, f8. Bishop c5. Rook d6. Oh, this rook. That is a very interesting line. God damn. Funny animator thinking all kinds of crazy things. Over here. 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 Check, take, check, back. Bishop up. Oh, and this one's still there as well. I mean, it's interesting for sure. Very interesting line, goodness me. Okay. Alright, let's look at the other games quickly. Just see it. Oh, it's 12:40. Oh my goodness. Let's just see who else is playing before we go to bed at least. These two is what we're currently watching. There's Freddy versus Signed Wonder, Nestor Merrick's, Rub and Big Dump Taker, and J308 versus Snowdeath, Grey Sensei versus Pope. Oh, Pope's been chilling in the chat for some of the games. And Pille as well, I think maybe. Palsy. And Sumo Chess versus Srinivas Barak. Thinking Sumo sounds kind of Japanese, to be honest. Interesting. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it. I think we've been going for... When do we start? 2 hours roughly? 10:30. Thank you very much for everyone who's watching. Thank you very much who came past and had a look. Everyone who chatted a little bit with me, I really appreciated it. Big thanks to everyone who played super interesting games. Once again, I feel like the chess content in the league is actually improving in terms of quality, hey? There's some really interesting games happening. I'll be sending everyone a link again so they know. And for everyone who's not living on my time zone, who is still as middle of the day or even like earlier wherever, or like evening, enjoy. There's still so much chess to be watching the rest of the evening. So I'll be back tomorrow, similar-ish time, a little bit earlier with my own game. And then on Monday, again at an earlier time, we'll be back to review what happened this entire week and get ready to be excited for next week's pairings again. Cool, so be safe, take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.